welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We've already had the command to start the engines. The anthem. I think we've already had the command, but we already had the anthem. Drivers are in their cars. We should be racing here very shortly. Let's go ahead and look at our starting lineup. Picks to win. I don't know. It's hard to bet against an SVG starting on the pole. Zilic in 5th. He could compete. SVG's had a decent weekend so far, but it's been a little rough. Where is Chase Elliott? My goodness, Chase, what are you doing? And Bowman's down there, and Larson. So William Byron is all by himself up here. 13th, so not a great qualifying effort for Hendrick. Brad has a lot to work on. Busch, 21st. That's actually not bad qualifying for Kyle Busch. Not bad. Maybe that new crew chief is the missing piece for him to actually start running, higher up. I'm not going to say win, but higher up. Chastain up here. Cindric. Where's Buescher? I would figure... I found 2 RFK guys. Where's the missing piece? There he is, 14th. Good to see Rowdy Busch, Stacy, Jason, Denny Hamlin fan. Double A. Good to see all you guys. Thank you guys for liking the stream. So we already have a few likes on there. How do you guys like the thumbnail? The Blaze says he has Buescher winning. Yeah. I mean, I felt pretty good about him, but 14, that's a lot to overcome. I mean, you definitely can throughout the course of the race. Even with, we have 2 stage breaks and potentially more cautions. So, I mean, there'll be plenty of time. Then he can, flip the stage. There's more stuff he can do to gain track position. But it's a stout field. It's going to be hard, to race against these 2 guys. And McDowell's no slouch either. And he is decent, really decent at Watkins Glen. 2nd, Austin Cindric. Road courses are his bread and butter. Up there in 3rd. Now, this is interesting. Joey Logano starting 6th. That's about the best he's done all year. We'll see if he finishes around 6th position. That's not bad. Blaney right behind him. So the Penske guys just killed it. Absolutely killed it. Toyota's still looking pretty good. Obviously, this is a weak spot in comparison to the rest of the schedule. Because normally we would see Denny up here as well, and Reddick, and then Bubba and Herbst not too far behind. But they're actually a bit further back. So some interesting insights there. Let's go ahead and look at J-Ski to see what they have for us. So the purse, 11.2 million. Fuel window is 36 laps. So it's a bit more than our truck race and a bit more than our O'Reilly race. The average time of race is 2.5 hours, but they added laps this season. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's closer to 3 hours. And green flag should be at 3:14 p.m. So we're looking at green flag in 8 minutes. No cars to the rear. SVG taking stall 1. That's going to keep him out front. On the stops. Slowest Catherine Legg ran a 111 compared to our leaders 123. Wow. Little off the pace. Most laps in practice 29, not bad. Let's see their practice speeds. I want to see the best 10 consecutive lap average. Oh my goodness, Tyler Reddick's in second. We know Tyler Reddick can win at these tracks. Still a half a mile per hour off of what SVG was running. But 10 lap average is a decent indicator of how a car is going to fire off on a restart. Carson, Blaney, Cindric, Briscoe, Preece. And so a lot of these guys have speed. They just did not qualify well. Joey actually up there, and Larson as well, just missing the top 10. I'm going to show you guys this. Best 10 consecutive lap average. You going to a Braves game? That's awesome. I have some buddies that keep trying to get me to go to a Braves game, but they can't decide on when they want to go. It's also like it's expensive. It's a drive for me too. It'd be a long drive to Atlanta. All right, what's the weather look like in Watkins Glen? So I need to check in to our leaderboard. I had all my stuff pulled up last night. I was ready to go for today. I was ready. All right, SVG sounds pretty optimistic. We need to take note of who does well here. Could be an indicator of how they're going to run at the naval base here in a couple months. I'm guessing that was that on Discord or the Google Voice? Ooh, 10 attachments. Oh my goodness, there's some beat up cars. Yeah. We can show these. I have to be careful about this. I don't know why they're don't know why they're so small on my end. That's one of them. Several torn up race cars here. Some massive right front damage there. Don't think that one's going to turn a good lap time. Oh my goodness. And the 72. So this one's wadded up pretty well too. What is this back here? This looks like a 24 car. That looks like a DuPont Chevrolet right there in the background. And there is a 24 here. A ton of wadded up race cars. Let's another look at the right front damage on the 72. Thank you, Doodlebug. Good to see you. Good to see you, King Mako. 24 hours of Nürburgring. I love 24-hour racing, just endurance racing. Anything over 6 hours, and I am locked in. It looks like it. I forget what they call that scheme. Firestorm, I think. I wish Gordon had ran better the years he ran that scheme. It was pretty tough. I didn't like it as much as even his rainbow scheme, but especially his original flame scheme. But it was all right. First Cup Series point race on FS1. Oh, final. Yeah, final one for the year. Yeah, I think we have, what? Dover and something else. Dark Side with the info. Confirming. Thank you guys for being my memory. I no longer have one. I'm working on limited power here. All right, I'm ready to go. I'm checked in on my NASCAR fan rewards. I said I was going to yesterday on the O'Reilly stream, clicked on the notification twice, and still forgot to check in. Close that out. Open this up. We are ready to go, baby. It's going to be a huge loss today if Trackhouse doesn't win the race. We're having SVG in the field, having Connor Zilich in the field, and Ross Chastain up here in the top 5, and he's won on a road course before. So, Trackhouse, this is a banner day. They have to get it done here. And SVG really needs to get it done because right now he's below the cut line. If he doesn't win like both stages and the race, which, I mean, even just winning the race or just winning both the stages would possibly jump him up to the cut line. I have to actually look at the points. Let's see how many points SVG is behind standings. So right now he's in 19th. And he's looks about like 25 points below the cut line. No, a little bit more. right, we're in the restart zone. SVG getting a really good restart. He's going to clear up and get in front of McDowell. Yeah, he's 27 points back, so SVG has to make up quite a bit of ground. But with stage points and a win, I mean, he's back in the chase. So he's really aiming for a good day. Ross won at Coda, that's right, Jason. I was there for that. I was jumping up and down when I saw Bowman go to the lead in that, like, second to last corner. I was so excited. And then Ross shoved Allmendinger up the track into Bowman, took them both out, and got the win. I was still excited because I liked Ross, but I really wanted to see Bowman win. But I think it was 2012 DuPont scheme. I know the one you're talking about. Let me just confirm. Oh, yeah. That one was all right. It was all right. That's at the year he ran the Homestead. The special scheme at Homestead. That one was nice. That's one car I don't have yet. That Homestead win. There's a few Gordon cars that are just so expensive, I haven't even considered buying them. But I have pretty much every notable scheme he ran, with the exception of the Drive to End Hunger car. Don't have one of those. That's when diecast got ridiculously expensive. Everything before that, like before Gen 6, diecasts were very affordable compared to, and very available. You could just go to, your local Target, Walmart, Toys R Us, whatever, pick up a diecast. Nowadays, you have to special order it and then wait 12 months and then hope and pray it meets minimum qualifying orders. And McDowell's still looking good here. Not a lot of movement through the field, but Ross is to the inside of Austin Cindric, trying to get by. Ross is not going to be able to clear here. Whew. All right, Zilich is kind of going to help out his teammate here. I mean, not really a huge help. They're going to go in side by side into the dogleg. Cindric's going to give up a position. So Ross Chastain up one to third. And Connor Zilich is trying to follow him through. And Austin Cindric might lose a handful of positions here. Joey's not going to let him in either. I'm not a Joey fan by any means, but I hope he has a good day today. He's had a really rough year, and I don't like seeing veterans hit that wall, start running poorly. I want to see him pick it up. I really do. You believe that the next episode of Switch and Groove should be in the 13th? All right, coming up. 50 got ran over by another driver. It needs a whole right front suspension rebuild. 5, even though it flipped out of the track, the chassis is still straight. That's good, so you won't have to... You don't have to get the chassis straightened out. I forget what they call that. Yeah, they put it up on this like giant machine. They actually like not really stretch it, but they bend it back into place. You made 3 pages of notes. That's awesome, Jason. That's what you got to do, man. That's what I do for the post-race show. To do our race recap, I have a full thing of notes. And, I could do better, but We work with what we have. Doodlebug says Dover All-Star, then 600. That's right. That's right. The rumored schedule of next year has Dover as the All-Star race again. I'm not sure if they're actually going to do that. That'd be kind of a weird decision. I like Dover, but it's the All-Star race now, apparently. Darkside says the one thing Trackhouse needs to do is not wreck one another. If Zillich and SVG get 1-2, there's no telling what will happen. It is really weird having floor-mounted pedals compared to mounted above, hanging down. At 72 car, they think they exploded. Oh yeah, exploded a lower ball joint. Took out the right front tire. Hit the wall so hard it snapped the rear axle out of the rear end. There was a lot of damage on that one. The front and the rear were torn up. I think yesterday was the first time you can remember cars numbered 1 and 2 finished first and second respectively. Yeah, I mean, I don't know when else that would have happened. You know, it's especially not recently. Chastain and Cindric, I don't think they finished 1-2 at all. Going back before that would be like McMurray and Keselowski, you know. And McDowell's not doing a bad job. Those first two are definitely in their own league right now. Then it's a gap back to Ross. And this is kind of where the field is. And this is what we've seen a lot in races SVG's been involved in, is either he's off by himself or there might be somebody hanging on to him trying to challenge, but not quite there. And then there's a gap back, and then the rest of the field. So without these road course guys, McDowell is included in that list. This is a pretty even race. I think the way we view Gen 7 road course racing is affected by SVG's inclusion in the sport. If he didn't exist, we would have a lot closer racing. On average. I still think the Gen 6 was better at the road courses. Larson back here in 24th. Chase Elliott 30th. My goodness. And I mean, Chase is good. Larson's like, they all know how to win on road courses. They've all won at road courses. All three of them. And they're running this far back. What is Hendrick doing? Week in and week out. I mean, they're not even qualifying well anymore. You might have one guy qualify up there and one guy barely outside the top 10, but I mean, what? And Bowman's gotten by Elliott. Might potentially run down Larson. I mean, even Brad's moving up. Priest, not so much. Busher is staying where he was. So is Byron. Hosfar has fallen back a bit, I believe. I thought he started 10th, but he may be about where he was. Suarez 15th. That's about where he should be. So not a bad run so far for Suarez. He's also won at a road course, so and there's a lot of names that you could throw out here, including Allmendinger. I think Ty Gibbs could get it done. There's a lot of A lot of names you could list. But it's just who's going to keep up with the lap time, the sheer pace of Shane Van Gisbergen. McDowell is getting a better exit of 7 to 1 because he's running faster speeds, but the lap times aren't there. Oh no. I'm used to looking at the Fox miles per hour. I'm not used to seeing lap times over 60 seconds. We're looking at our lap times here. See that last lap, about 5/10 back. So half a second difference, just that last lap. SVG's almost put a 2-second gap. Now it is over 2 seconds. So big gap developing there. SVG will potentially be able to, at this pace, be able to short pit and get back out and still have really good track position. That is, if most of the field behind him pits. But he really needs these stage points. So could SVG potentially stay out? So at this pace, I mean, it doesn't matter where he restarts. You know, let's say it's 10th, let's say it's 13th. He's probably going to pass his way to the lead. This is pretty much the best track position SVG's had all weekend. In the truck race, he never really got up there. In the O'Reilly race, he was up there for a moment on a restart, but Zillage got back by him, so hasn't really had a great run yet. But today's going really well. He just knows this Gen 7 car. People say it's because of his experience in the V8 supercars, and they're somewhat similar, but what you guys are saying. That's how it goes, Dark Side. That's how it goes. I always get my best clips in like Call of Duty or back when I played Battlefield when I wasn't like clipping or recording my gameplay. Because like when I'm locked in doing really well, I don't take the time to clip a moment. I just stay going at it, trying to make it even better. Who can beat SVG? Right now, no one. Who can beat him? An overtime restart. And somebody really aggressive in that inside or outside row. Someone that's willing to rough him up. And we still have to see if his car is going to hold on throughout the whole race and if other people can adjust their cars to be better. But my goodness, even with adjustments, how do you overcome the gap that we see already? Now, one thing to take a peek out here. Connor Zillage. Seems like he's already reeling this car in. I mean, the interval doesn't look great. But over the course of the rest of the stage, that time they equalized out. I don't know. He might be able to run down McDowell, but his lap time that lap before was only a 10th off of SVG. It was really close. 74.8, so he could be running top 5 if he had track position. Anybody else? The 75.1, that's not bad. The problem is the further you look back in the pack, you'll see a guy that has a pretty good lap time. It's like, oh, he could easily be running top 10. He could easily be running top 5. The next lap they come by, they're going to run half a second slower. They're so inconsistent further back because they're in traffic. Their cars just aren't handling as well. And Catherine Legg there. Already 42 seconds off the pace. She is... It's going to be close, her going down a lap by the end of this stage. She has about 30 seconds to play with. It's close. HMS washed. They haven't had a great start to this year. Elliott being the one exception. But I mean, last week, HMS didn't do very well. Like, Bowman and Elliott did. But Byron and Larson were kind of lost out there. Oh, yeah. I mean, like, HMS still... I mean, I'm not going to discredit what they have. I'm not going to discredit the talent of their drivers. I think they have a great organization. But the Gen 7 car was kind of the worst thing to happen to them. If they stayed in the Gen 6, Chase Elliott might have one more championship. And Kyle Larson probably also has an additional championship. I don't know how Byron would have done in that alternate timeline. I think they both would have ran better. And a big part of the Hendrick success, in my opinion, was their fabrication team. They were able to engineer some advantages into the bodies and the chassis, and now they're not building those. So, a little less advantage there. Christian says he loves seeing him struggle. Everyone has their time in the sun. Yeah, fat chance. Fat chance. A team might be able to find an advantage here or there, but the Hendrick money, the Gibbs money, that experience, it's always going to take over in the end. Like, HMS will figure out this body, this Camaro body, if we don't get a new one in the next year or two. If we get another new body, they may struggle for a few more years. Seems like the Chevy teams have had a really hard time anytime we get a new body on these Camaros. When we went to the Camaro, it was a hard adjustment. A lot of rubber. They're showing it on the track. I mean, this is an insane amount. But Penske, you know, he's flush with cash. He's just strict with his dollar. He could definitely invest some more. Get a solid pit crew for Ryan Blaney. That's the first thing he should do. Wonder if Kyle Busch and John Hunter talk things out. I doubt it. Maybe Nemechek reached out potentially, but Kyle is just so much older. I don't think he respects Nemechek enough. And he probably doesn't see anything wrong with what happened last week, so I doubt they talked, but who knows? Race director called the caution when you had a 6-second lead. You restarted and some dude screwed the pooch going into the braking zone and wiped you out. That's good. Ran 14 qualifying type laps to get the win. Not bad. Sounds like you really had the field beat, though. Good job. Joey doing great today. Yeah. He needs to stay up there. He really needs this. And to be leading the other Penske cars, that's also really good. Yeah, 2018 was a rough year for Chevy fans because early on, the only wins you had was like Austin Dillon at a plate track. I forget who the second was, but it was very difficult. Thank you guys for liking the stream. That really helps. Plug in my phone. All right, Kyle Larson coming in to flip the stage. Anyone else down? SVG obviously with our fastest lap. Reddick's down. That Eric Jones or Zane Smith? I can't tell. Might be neither. Bowman. Couldn't tell who that car was. SVG's already coming back around. All right, Zilich is down. SVG can still pit this time by, I believe. So no pressure for him, but the rest of the field had to pit that last lap of the lap before to get their early pit. McDowell also short pitting. Honestly, I mean, with how much better SVG was in this stage, I mean, why not stay out and grab the stage points? Winning stage 1, stage 2, that gets you back in the chase by itself. And then if you win the race, that's a bonus, and that gets you a buffer inside the chase. You're exactly right, Darkside. For sure, Jason. I enjoyed it. All right, SVG is pitting. So he's giving up the stage win here. So he's banking on getting the win. I mean, he might stay out stage 2. We've seen a bit of that over this weekend. All right, is Joey going to win the stage? Chastain. Joey is 3/10 back. 2 Penske guys hounding at the heels of Ross Chastain. Can he hold on for 2 more laps to get the stage win? Both the other Trackhouse guys pit. Zilich and SVG, and Ross Chastain carrying the banner here for Trackhouse. 3 Penske cars behind him. 2 Penske cars right behind him. Can't make a single mistake. Cody Ware is 14th and Noah Gragson is last. What happened, Noah? Did he also flip the stage for no reason? Man, these cars sound so deflated. Yeah, he wasn't far enough ahead to keep the lead. I know we've seen that before, but didn't quite get it here. Although our leaderboard hasn't updated. Road courses confuse it. There we go. All right, Ross Chastain. Coming into the dogleg with a bigger lead than he had last time by. All he has to do is make it back around. Pretty good buffer back to Logano. Even Blaney fell off a little bit. Imagine if this was the race for the lead. Chastain up front, Logano, Blaney. this close together, man, that would be a race. Ross Chastain will take stage 1. Bubba Wallace just missing out on points, it sounds like. McDowell stealing one away. Look at us. Look at us. Already 1/5 into today's race. We have to do that 4 more times. Oh, yeah. Chase was way far back. Way far back. Yeah, I think you're right, Jason. He may just be a driver that didn't adapt to the Gen 7. He may just be an O'Reilly guy. I mean, he ran so well in the O'Reilly series, and he gets up here and really hasn't done anything of note at all. Went to SHR right before they fell off, or right when they fell off. And then goes over to front row, and he's clearly the 3rd car over there. And Dane Smith's not having a great day either. My goodness, Brad back there. So these guys did short pit. I think Larson, Bowman, and Brad, I think they all short pit. With how far back they are. Hocevar, Hamlin. So a lot of these guys will filter forward a little. Here's our leader, or who will be our leader. SVG, McDowell. So Herb stayed out. Got it. 2 stage points there. Chase just missed out. But you're right. He was so far back, it probably won't affect his running order very much from where he was. Yeah, I think Denny short pit with guys like Byron. They were running nearby. So I believe that's why they are down here. Let's take a look at our Twitter and see what's going on. A video of Chastain taking stage 1 with a pretty big gap there. Just go ahead and bookmark that. I like the guitars they have going in the background of that happy hour clip. Oh no, that was Speed. I feel like half of FS1 programming right now is just Kevin Harvick. They have Kevin Harvick on the broadcast. They have Kevin Harvick. His happy hour. They have the Speed with Harvick and Buxton. Just Harvick. Man, they were 3 wide coming for that final stage point. What a battle there. Brad Keselowski sliding through his pit. So Gregson also issues on pit road. Well, at least Brad can work together with Ryan Preece. Maybe they can tandem draft to the lead. I'm sure that's possible. All right, Chase. Oh, whoa, okay. That was an unorthodox entry for Chase. It's like he moved from the outside lane to the inside lane and then turned again to get out. I don't think Chase is going to gain anything here. That was a pretty rough stop. Yeah, my goodness. That didn't go well for Chase. All right. Probably be a minute before the leaderboard updates. No. I'm good doing this. I would need a whole 6-month boot camp to even be remotely decent. I might still struggle with it. I mean, I would. Jeff Gordon, ton of NASCAR knowledge, experienced in front of a camera, in front of a microphone, with the media, and he would get in the booth and consistently fumble his words. Consistently. That's exactly what I would do. Still waiting on this leaderboard to adjust here. See if I can find something else on Twitter. I'm not seeing really anything relevant to today. A lot of interesting takes about the race that I cannot share. Yeah, I think Gregson would definitely have a better shot than O'Reilly. At least until we change this car or a better ride opens up. McDowell has the fastest lap. It was SVG, so that's... McDowell must have maybe ran that getting out of the pits. It's impressive. So Larson and Bowman have moved up a bit. Byron's up 1 spot. Somehow Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon are up here. I'm not sure what's going on there. So Dylan's going to be restarting on 10-lap old tires. That's not going to be great. Tyler Reddick up there, Buescher up there. So the running order has shifted out a bit because all the Penske guys stayed out. Ross Chastain stayed out. So that's 4 guys that were running up towards the front that have now filtered to the back. So that really shook up our top 10. All right, SVG, another really good restart. Not okay. Wasn't able to clear McDowell until exit of the corner. It was close. All right, McDowell's right on the back of SVG. Not able to get there. McDowell's also has to watch back. But if you're Zilich, you need to make this pass now so you can try to stay with SVG. Because their lap times weren't too far off from each other throughout much of that run. He's got to stay up there. That's right, yeah. Saying a piece of his wrist broke off. That's wild. Man, Larson's getting used. Larson just brake checked Zane Smith. And broken toe link? He was shaking the car a ton. Larson's going to lose a ton of ground here. And suddenly, William Byron is the second best Hendrick car. Like he has been the last 2 weeks. My goodness. Larson was getting used up there. I hope we get a replay of that. That was awesome. Burger King Crown Larson. I have not heard that one before, but I get the reference. So Zilich has gotten by McDowell for second place. This has turned into a Trackhouse Red Bull show here. Now, who do you guys think is going to be in the 91 at the Naval Base race? There are rumors, unsubstantiated rumors that probably aren't true. There are rumors that Max Verstappen might be making his first NASCAR start, which he said time and time again he doesn't want to do. But they've had Zilich and Verstappen and a lot of the Red Bull guys hanging out together, filming content together. Maybe Zilich talked him into it. There's been a lot of talk about Max leaving F1, not for like NASCAR or anything, but going over full time and running GT3. Seems like he has more fun in the GT car right now. All right, I think Blaney and Chastain have both gotten by Bowman, so that's going to bump Bowman back a bit. Second best Hendrick car, by the way. Back here in 19th. Chase 31st, Kyle Larson 26th. Jeff Gordon is going to have a stroke by the end of this race if they don't pick up. Jeff Gordon, the HMS that he built, the HMS that he knows runs well at these tracks. He was the king of road courses during his time. It cooled off a bit towards the end of his career, but he could still run pretty well. But then afterwards, Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott won pretty much every road course for a few years. And now we get in this Gen 7 car. SVG exists now. They can't do anything. Kyle Busch up here near a top 10. Come on, man. Let's get it done, man. I'm trying to see Kyle Busch get a legit top 10. He almost did last week. Yeah, I think the reason why people think Max is the one that they're talking about to be racing the 91 is because of the Red Bull sponsorship. Like, it's an easy transition. Some people have said Ford might have an issue with it because Ford does support Team Red Bull, even though it's not a Ford engine. So maybe there's not an issue there. And Max also races a Mercedes over in the GT3 world. They haven't had an issue with that. But some people say that's because Mercedes and Ford aren't competitors, but Ford and Chevy directly are. So who knows? Who knows? It'll probably be some retired F1 driver. We'll have to see. Could be an IndyCar guy. Yeah, I mean, Max has said he never wants to do NASCAR, but given enough baiting by Connor Zilic talking about the experience and with how unsatisfied Max is over in F1 right now, he might give it a go. I was also considering that, Christian, another supercars guy. Like, who did SVG like? Maybe potentially who is he teammates with that he wants to run over here. Right? Connor Zilic really pressuring SVG here. Look at that, Ty Gibbs up there. If Ty Gibbs gets by McDowell here, that would be a huge statement about his speed. Reddick's coming up through the field as well. Austin Dillon on older tires is running 6th place. Now, that's not like a honest 6th place, not necessarily, because you do have some faster guys back here that have a long way to catch up. But that's really impressive. Kyle Busch right there. He's about a half second back from Buescher, not in a position to challenge. But William Byron, top 10. I think that's the first top 10 Hendrick car all day. Look at this. So we have Chevy. That's fine. But Ty Gibbs is pressuring. Then we have Tyler Reddick, Chase Briscoe. So we have some Toyotas towards the front. Even Daniel Suarez is up here. Not bad. Eric Jones having a decent enough day. 15th is really good for a legacy car. It's sad that's a good day, but it is. See, I was thinking if Max did one, it might be Circuit of the Americas because he has experience there. But NASCAR has a history of being like very sloppy there. So if I was Max, I would pick Sonoma or the Glen because they're NASCAR exclusive tracks, compared to the F1 schedule. But the airbase would be a good one for Max because the other drivers don't have experience on that track. And so the track knowledge it's a blank slate for everyone. The guy who will probably have the biggest advantage is SVG because he adapted really well to the Chicago street course. Very flat track, no banking. Going to be some sharp turns. Thank goodness Trackhouse brought SVG into this, not SVG, brought Connor Zilic into the sport, into the Cup Series, I should say. That way we have someone to compete with SVG. 2 Red Bull cars up front, Monster Energy in my hand. Let me look at Franz. I searched Franz German. Franz I can't say. Man. You dirty dog. You dirty dog, King Mako. You dirty dog. Oh, that's hilarious, King Mako. That's a deep cut. That's a deep cut. That's funny. So, King Mako said it could be Franz Hermann. Franz Hermann is Max Verstappen's online alter ego. It's an alias that he uses. That's hilarious. You dirty dog. All right, we are coming to halfway in stage 2. That'll be halfway in the race when we get done with this stage. Gibbs is still pressuring McDowell pretty well. No replays yet for today's race. Pretty clean so far. Casey Kane used to drive for Red Bull. That's right. Wouldn't that be something? See Casey Kane back in the car. Back in the Cup car. All right, Blaney has gotten by Chastain. I think that's a recent development. I believe, Chastain had the lead before the pit cycle and should have coming out. So that is a pass for position if they decide to run this stage out. Fuel window is 30, I think 6 laps in today's race. Could he spook Farland into the 91? I doubt it. I doubt it. That would be one way to get a ton of eyeballs on the race, but for a street circuit, I think you need somebody with a bit more experience. A bit more. But then again, Noah Gragson's going to be on track, so we know how he does at these street courses. That's rough. Dario could be. It could be. Castro Neves, potentially. A lot of names, a lot of names. I think the big question is, will it be a returning driver or will it be a new driver that hasn't driven NASCAR before? Because that would narrow it down a bit. Man, Ty Gibbs is still pressuring Michael McDowell. Really close. Still a bit further back. Before the break, it was around 4.5 tenths. Now it's up to 7. If Zilich had the lead, would the gap be like it is now? Or could SVG get back by? Even though it's a road course, it's still this Gen 7 car. It's harder to pass. They're replaying yesterday's finish. That was a great race. We had basically a 2 to 3 car battle all race for the lead. At times, the leader would get a second, 2 seconds ahead towards the end of a stage, towards the end of a run. But it also ended really well, so that impacts the overall rating. But I still thought it was a fun race, regardless. And for a regular to almost get the win on a very bold strategy call, that was wild. If Love doesn't lock it up, if he doesn't overdrive turn 7, he wins the race. It was so close. Maybe Zilich could get him at the line somehow, but Wow. Caution. There's a big inflatable object on the track. Uh-oh. It picked up someone's like tiny little tent. Blew it out right onto the track. Our first caution for incident for a flying tent. It was out of the groove. They could have kept it green. Just say it's a new tire pack. I haven't heard John King's name in ages. That's back when I was watching the truck series on the Speed Channel. I think it might have still existed. Yes, it was. It was running at the time. So, Speed ran till August 2013. I remember that day. That was a horrible day. So, flying debris brings out our first caution for incident. What does this do to the strategies? We were 10 laps from pitting normally, so a lot of the field probably going to pit here. But what does that do to your third stage? Like if you pit at the actual stage break, it's 50 laps. In stage 2, if you run the whole thing green, so I'm probably not going to restart until like lap 53 or 54. It's a bit less. Fuel window's 35 laps, so you're going to have to stop at least once. So you could stop here and still one stop it after. Well, if you want to see the race get a caution, just launch a tent into the air. Aim it towards the track. All right. I didn't see who came out of the pits first. So we'll have to talk about that when we get back from commercial break. Oh, we do have a replay of the tent flying out onto the track. Breaking news, breaking news. We have a replay here. I didn't know what that was. I was thinking, is that a tire pack moved out onto the track? And then I saw the corner. I'm like, no, that's not a tire pack. Unless something went really wrong. There it is, taking flight. Got some good air under it. Initially lands in the infield, and then I guess later blew out onto the track. It was close. Someone could have just snatched it right here. They let it blow out onto the track. Nobody with fast hands. No one willing to save the green flag run. There was no telling what ripple effect this will cause. There's no telling. Darkseid says he needs a new keyboard. I haven't replaced mine since 2018. And it still does what it needs to do. I think sometimes I might miss an input or two. But it's pretty consistent. There is no telling what this just did to our race. And we'll never know what the alternative race would have looked like. So they have 10 laps to play with. They're going to be running them under caution, so that should save them laps. So they should be able to one-stop this, but it's going to be a really tight fuel window. You know, a few laps here or there, so they should be able to make it on one more stop. Probably see everyone come down with 20... maybe earlier than 28 to go. You can pit as early as 36 to go and make it on fuel. Depends on how bad you want the fresh tires. All right, McDowell with a bold call here. I don't like this call. Blaney, Logano, Cindric, they were all in the top 10 before everyone started flipping the stage. They got stuck back in the pack, and they weren't able to move back up. Not a huge fan of this call here from McDowell. I do like that they're not following the leader. They recognize they don't have the pace to beat him straight up. So they're going to try some alternate strategy. You sure pitted at work yesterday and still got stage points? Good job, good job. That tent was a Fed plant. For sure, for sure. Inside job. It was probably Brian France. It's probably his tent, his cocaine tent, blew off. I'll just let that one breathe a bit. The Spire Master Plan. The track position's just such a premium. I don't care if you're a top 5 car. Like, yeah, you'll move back up through the pack, but by the time you get there, let's say you don't make it back into the top 10, or even if you do, you're still way far behind. You're still 10 seconds back, 15 seconds back. It's rough. All right, McDowell gonna move up the track early in front of Suarez. SVG gonna take it 3 wide into the entry of 1. Riley Herbst backwards. Wait, okay. They repaint the tire packs? I thought the tire packs were black. They're white right now. I almost didn't. I couldn't see them from the overhead. Zilich a little upset there. Bump from Blaney. As Zilich got stuck there on the outside of turn 1. Going to lose a ton of track position here relative to SVG. William Byron around in front of the field. Ryan Blaney damage. That may be a broken rear end for Byron. Rear end toe link broken. Right rear toe link on Byron's car is broken. His day's done. They might be able to get it repaired, but his day is done. Competitive. This is what the 10 did. This is what the 10 did. We asked what the 10 did. This is what it did. The tent did this. The tent got William Byron killed. Thankfully, this is a really long track, so I mean, they may lose a few laps, but given the right set of circumstances, they could not finish dead last. Need a few people to rack out or have a failure. Bang, magic 8 ball, correct. I called it. So who knows the butterfly effect this is going to have. And I saw where Blaney hit Byron, and I had a feeling it broke the toe link. These cars can't take these kind of hits. I hate this stupid Gen 7 car. I don't care how tough it is. Side slapping the wall at Homestead over and over, or Darlington. It annoys me that guys can barely get contact, door-to-door contact, and break a toe link. That was a hard hit, though, from Blaney. Right into that wheel. You can't do that. Can't do that. Zane Smith was also around there. Oh, Brad took him out. Brad taking out the 24. Shades of 2024. Not 2024. Shades of 2014. Jeff Gordon having PTSD right now. That is a weird situation, Christian. That's a weird situation to be in. So back here, William Byron. Ooh, on the struggle bus. They can get that toe link replaced pretty quickly nowadays, if that's all the damage is. But he's going to be stuck down at least 2 laps, but probably, even more. We'll see if they can get that replaced on pit road. But he will potentially get a lap back. for this stage break. And if no one else goes a lap down and we get a couple more cautions in stage 3, potentially he gets back on the lead lap. But right now it looks doubtful. Man, but Bowman fell off a cliff in this stage. Did he... I guess he also flipped the stage or something. I'm not sure what happened to Bowman. Maybe an issue on pit road or on the restart. Maybe he got stacked up in the Byron incident. But Bowman was easily the best, or second best Hendrick car, and would be the best right now. And suddenly he's 31st. Oh, McDowell's in so much trouble. Yeah, get rid of the tent. I know whoever's tent that is sweating bullets right now that they don't get a visit from a track official. It's not completely their fault it happened, but I bet they're still a bit nervous. Kyle Busch, top 10. Let's go. That's so cool. I like seeing these RCR guys actually up here. One of the worse off Chevy teams. Trackhouse is consistently better. Spire has been consistently better. They might be the worst main Chevy team. SVG about to take this stage win. Reddick trying to run him down, not able to close that gap. Sitting at about 9/10 right now. See if that gap shrinks a bit. To 8/10 now. See what he does in turns 6 and 7. Man, Tyler Reddick steal this race. Get his 6th win of the year. Zilich really needs to make up some ground here. Whew. Bubba got close there to clipping Zilich. So Bubba's running a white Hardy scheme today. He ran a black one the last time. So they flipped the base color. It's all right. It's all right. I would have liked if Hardy's ran more of a throwback scheme, kind of like the RB scheme in the O'Reilly series. I think a throwback Hardy scheme would look tough. McDowell kind of overdrove the entry to the dog leg there. Briscoe's all over the back of him. McDowell's about to lose out on stage points completely. Horrible call for that team to stay out. It went horribly for them. Reddick running really well right now. I don't know how much SVG was saving his stuff. He plays games of the field. When someone's not right on his bumper, he doesn't pedal 100%. He just consistently makes easy, fast laps. Bubba Wallace going to sneak a stage point there away from Briscoe. Briscoe got close. Chastain moving back up through the field, trying to, after taking stage 1. All right, I got some stuff typed out there. We probably have a replay of the Byron incident here. So maybe this can shed light on what happened to Bowman. Oh, yeah. Okay, so there's Bowman. He's going to be on the outside of the carousel, leaving that corner. He was already pretty far back, though. He's going to lose one spot there. Yeah, so I'm not really sure how much he lost there. I think he just had trouble on pit road this last time. So, kind of like Blaney's pit crew, Bowman, his pit crew, I guess, let him down here. Unless he just got the worst ever restart. He would easily be in the top 15 right now if they had held on to their natural running order throughout that whole pit cycle. Frustrating. Just giving away a decent day, potentially a top 10. Maybe they can still run it back down, but good night. They have a long way to go. Xfinity fastest lap for stage 2 is a 74.10. That's not faster than McDowell's in stage 1, was it? I get calls from this phone number all the time, but I don't know who this is. I think I know who that is. Yeah, I don't know how the 10's going to affect the war in Iran and Ukraine. It could definitely have societal impacts. Yeah, get some Arby's. They send me coupons in the mail and I use them because it's a really good deal. All right. Hey, good keeping up, Hamlin fan. I appreciate it. All right, I'll be right back. Everyone always asking questions to the chair. The chair has no knowledge. It knows nothing. My dog also knows nothing. There are zero thoughts in that head. Zero. All he cares about is food. Not even his food. It's whatever I have. That's what he wants. Doesn't matter if it's a vegetable, if it's meat, if it's pizza, peanut butter. He wants it. So as we run, SVG first, second and third, two Toyotas, two fast Toyotas. Reddick was staying with him really well. Gibbs has been steadily improving throughout the day. And Austin Dillon and Kyle Busch up here in the top 5. Bubba Wallace jumps up from 10th, I think, to 6th. Connor Zellage still mired back here, the lower side of the top 10, so he has to run all the way through, you know, some good cars, a lot of good cars to get back to SVG. What Zillage needs is he needs this to run 10, 15 laps, however long it takes him to get to second place. He needs a caution immediately to stack the field back up, because by the time he gets towards the front, if he's able to, he will probably be 7-8 seconds back from SVG, and that's too much to run down. I don't think SVG is going to run that far off the pace. Priest, highest he's been all day. Eric Jones still running decent. Denny still outside the top 10. Chase and Kyle running pretty close. Bowman going to improve a bit, but man, Bowman, I don't know what his pit crew did that last time down. I'm guessing it was his pit crew that messed him up there. He should be around 15th right now. I don't know what happened. Just lost a ton of track position, and when that incident with Byron happened, he got held up again. So that was a few more spots he lost. Not worth it. It won't snap into place. Remove it. I wanted to find the NASCAR logo and put it up there, but I don't have it on my computer, I don't guess. All right, so SVG restarting on the inside. Reddick to the outside. They stay 1-2. Zilich up to 7th. There's a gap to Buescher. He is going to need to drive it in deep here. And Denny Hamlin looking to the inside there. On entry to 6. Not able to get by Priest there. And now Hamlin looking to the inside of Priest again. So he will get by there. Move Denny Hamlin up another spot to 11th. Zilich still not able to clear Buescher. His progress has stalled. RCR running 4th and 5th right now. How about that? I love to see it. Reddick's already a half second back. I'm sure you know the answer to that question, Jason. I don't know, 1,500. I would say 1. Just you, Jason. 1 Jason. When Fox shows the miles per hour on the side of the screen, that accomplishes nothing. That tells us nothing. Zilich still not able to make up any ground here. He's only up a spot since the restart, I believe. 2 seconds back. 2/10 back from Buescher. Got in really hard to that dog leg, not able to get a good exit. Still about 2/10 back. Now he's there. Zilich actually had a good run through the carousel. The intervals didn't even keep up with how fast he made that pass. So Zilich up to 6th. Now Kyle Busch on the defense. Kyle Busch may lose out on a top 5 here. Austin Dillon having a really good day. 4th. I mean, I can see Kyle Busch being up here, but man. Did RCR finally figure things out, or is this just a fluke day? Bowman stuck back in 29th right now. My goodness, that's not where he should be running. That's crazy. Byron down 4 laps. He's going to need several cautions. And also no one else going a lap down. All right, back to a side-by-side commercial here. Reddick's still about a half second back. The gap fluctuates between 4/10 to 6/10. Gibbs is second back. Austin Dillon 1.6 back. Not bad. How much is SVG saving his stuff here, though? It's hard to tell. I mean, you can kind of say that. But I mean, even if Byron was still in the race and Bowman was still in the race, they would still be 4th and 5th. Zilic is probably about to get by Busch here. It's about 3/10 right now. Now down to 2/10 with Busch and Zilic. Zilic may set him up for a pass here, just like he did Buescher. Bowman trying to work his way back through the field, stuck back here in a hornet's nest. There's one car holding them up. Who is that? Now, Bowman looks off the pace. He's going to get shuffled out there, lose his spot to Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Is he about to get passed by Rick Ware? He's about to get passed by Cody Ware. Something happened to that 48. Maybe he's having an issue I don't know about. I have to look into this. Tight to the right, no grip overall. That's what Bowman's saying. And these are mainly big right-handers, really hard on the right-handers here at Watkins Glen. So tight in the important corners and no grip overall. Someone tweeted out, Blake has done nothing to help Alex's issues today. Guys can't make adjustments when it matters. He needs to go. Probably right about that. End of stage 2, Bowman got shoved in the marbles when everyone in front of him crashed, and he had no grip. Or at least, I mean, that's a theme there. And then, okay, so I was correct. The 48 team did have a bad stop. Could have stayed out for stage points, but they decided not to. Caution is out. Tire carcass. Oh no, Joey Logano. He could have, Christian. It's so strange. Hendrick, they just can't run consistently well. Not all 4 cars. And today, it's none of the cars. No one's running well. So for Hendrick Motorsports, of all teams, to struggle at a road course is bizarre because all 4 of their drivers have wins at road courses. Gregson top 20. Goat watch. Goat watch. Noah Gregson outrunning the greatest driver in the world. Never doubted him. Never doubted him. So, I mean, if you're a Bowman, so 40 laps to go, you can almost gamble and make it to the end if we have another caution or two. So you could stop here and try to run long. You're not going to beat SVG on pace, especially towards the end of the run. I mean, you can try to gamble like Love did, but I just don't see that working out with SVG in the field. but you might be able to get away with the top 10. So, and if you're Bowman, if you're back here in 32nd, and I mean, you come down. Looks like everyone's coming down here. Oop, SVG staying out. Reddick gonna go with him. SVG head fake in the field, but the rest of the field coming down. Bubba Wallace staying out. I think that's AJ as well. There's a handful of guys staying out, but the majority of the field here is going to choose to pit. Now, with that knowledge, did Bowman come down? He could have stayed out for track position, but it seems like that car really needs an adjustment. All right, Bowman did come down pit road here. So we can almost make it to the end here. With one more caution, we might be able to just make it. We're looking at 36 laps fuel window. It's 39 to go. So you're at the point of making it already, especially if we run long. Lap times fall off. We save a bit of fuel. It gets a bit closer. So Joey's shaking this race up. Byron should get a lap back. He should, once we come back from this caution period, he should be 3 laps down. Still dead last, but better. I don't think we're going to get 3 more cautions, though. It could always happen, but if we don't get one on the restart and someone else just doesn't have a wild, wreck, blow a tire, a flying tent, it's hard to bring out a caution at a road course. Oh, yeah. Gregson easily clears. All right, Bowman currently scored 35th. Blake Harris needs to be shot into the sun. We need to... Hendrick Motorsports, they probably have enough money. They can buy a rocket from Elon Musk and just shoot Blake Harris into the sun. And if you already have a rocket, go ahead and put Justin Allgaier's crew on there. Penske might want to buy in and put Blaney's crew on there. Right into the sun. Legacy guys. I don't know if this is accurate, but on the leaderboard, it's not accurate. Temporarily scored 9th and 10th. Where are they actually? So as they run, Van Gisbergen, Reddick, Allmendinger, Wallace. Say we get another caution in 20 laps. Do you come down again? Would SVG come down? That would really decide if anyone else needs to. Or whether, you try to stop and get fresh tires, outrun him. But then you lose the track position, and by the time you get back to SVG, you're probably not going to keep up with him. So the field's in a tough place here. That caution fell at a bad time. Dr. Derp, good to see you. Good to see you. Indy 500, May 24th. Herb's too fast entering. Byron did get one of his laps back. He should be scored 3 laps down now. Busch down 5, and he's requesting medical attention. So this is the Kyle Busch, Michael Jordan flu game. He's out there with a sinus cold. Woo! Stingray Rob for the 91. King Mako, interesting option there. Man. Hopefully Kyle Busch can get back up there in the top 10. He's had a really good day, and his crew just gave him a bad stop there. He probably should be, you know, at least a couple positions higher. Dylan there. He probably should have come out around where Dylan did. Busch has run better than everyone ahead of him. Except for Zillage. Zillage should probably get by Dylan here. Balicki's going to fall back. Custer's going to fall back. Nemechek. So all of these guys will fall back, and that would cycle Kyle Busch forward quite a bit. But Kyle Busch needs to focus on getting up to 14, or at least getting up to right behind Zillage, because he's had pace to outrun these guys, but does he not have enough pace to also pass them? It's going to be tough. Zillage really got done dirty with the whole short pitting and then not getting a good restart. He was on the outside of turn 1 and just wasn't able to make up as much ground as SVG did. And he's been left behind. There's not a Hendrick car above 25th right now. Not a single Hendrick car above 25th place, and that'll probably change. I mean, you think it would have to. My goodness, what is this? So restart, SVG back out to the lead. Reddick gonna look to the outside. Not sure if I like this move. Maybe a little contact there from Allmendinger. Little upset in the rear end there for Reddick. So already a little gap. A few car links between SVG and Reddick have developed already. SVG got a much better run into the S's, so he's going to carry that momentum all the way down this straightaway. Okay, are we going to keep it clean here through the dogleg? So Allmendinger has fresher tires than both Reddick and Shane McGisbergen, but not able to do anything with it. McDowell's back up into the equation. They have salvaged their day here. Zillage on fresh tires up to 9th. But by the time he gets by all these guys in front of him, SVG is going to be 10 seconds ahead. He is going to need another caution. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Scott Dixon win. I like Scott Dixon. The Spire master plan. Even with fresher tires, he's running off the pace that SVG is setting. SVG is gapped. Reddick here. No holding back here. If Allmendinger can get clear of Reddick, can he maybe try to run him down? Oh my goodness. SVG is demolishing the field on 26 lap old tires. Oh, what are we doing here? What are we doing? I don't think Kyle Busch has been able to make up ground here. I believe maybe he got by Preece. But Dillon's up to 10th. Due to Custer falling back. So they're already talking about fuel saving over the radio. So there's two different strategies here. There's guys that are planning to pit one more time, and there are guys that are going to stay out here. Gibbs is going to be definitely the first car to stay out. It's guys like Gibbs, Zilich, Dillon, Kyle Busch, anyone in that group that just pit, they're going to try to make it to the end. But Shane Magisbergen has such a lead right now. By the time they cycle forward, I mean, SVG is going to have newer tires. He's already the fastest car on track with old tires. It would take a certain set of events for SVG not to win this. It's going to be rough. All right, Allmendinger finally able to get clear of Reddick. Yeah, SVG smoked it that lap. Haven't really had much severe weather where I'm at this year, which is very weird. Typically a lot of tornadoes, a lot of severe weather. Haven't really seen that. We had one day of heavy lightning, and that's it. It was heavy. That was a massive storm. I park really far away from where I work, like really far away. We're talking almost half a mile from my car to the building, but definitely half a mile from my car to my desk. It's a long way. So I got soaked by the rain at 6 a.m. That was fun. But also, I was a little nervous about getting out of the car. I was like, I need to go in and get some work done, so I'm going to go ahead and go in. But there was lightning all around the parking lot. Close. I like hearing the thunder. I like seeing the lightning, but I don't like being near it. Yeah. That's a good point, Jason. That's a good point. I've been at Talladega races, which are way fewer in number than 400,000. But it got tight under the stands. As soon as I feel raindrops, and I think they're going to throw a caution or a red flag the race, I head underneath. I get seated. I find my place, try to find somewhere that I don't think is going to leak. Because Talladega, you can be under the stands, but if you're in a place with a bad leak, you still get soaked. But I've been there for some really bad storms. Days where it's been completely rained out. Got soaked at Bristol one time. That was a ton of fun. That race got rained out. SVG with a 4-second lead over Allmendinger. I think the field needs us to stay green, but my goodness, with the lead SVG has, then you put fresh tires on his car. Man. The fall off isn't enough to affect SVG. Because the rest of the field, I mean, has fresher rubber. The majority of the field has fresher rubber, but he's just still turning the fastest laps in the field. Zilich has brand new tires compared to SVG, and he's still 2/10 off the pace where he is. Gibbs running a little faster that last lap by. And I believe he's also on fresher rubber, so... Oh, 78 off the pace. May not be able to make it back around. That's Catherine Legg. Lap 72, we might get a caution here. Will she be able to get it back going? Reddick gonna dive down pit road. I love this call. In case we get a caution, Reddick will have the freshest tires without having to stop. So whoever stops, he's gonna cycle forward. SVG would have to pit here if the caution does fall. Really good call from Reddick there to pit if we get a caution. But Reddick may have had an issue. That may be why Reddick's on pit road. On and off. All right, we're still green. I don't know what happened to Legg there. I don't know if she took an access road or what happened to her car. I didn't know if she had enough speed to make it back to the stripe. So Bilicki and Legg got together. What happened to Catherine Legg? Like, broadcast, show us. All right, she's back up to pace. So finally able to get it refired, it looks like. I really liked that call. It did not look like Legg was going to make it back around, but she got it refired. So again, if we get a caution soon, it still might work out for Reddick, but he's going to be mired back in traffic. Bubba Wallace on pit road here. Allmendinger on fresh tires, still losing time, or fresher tires, still losing time to SVG. Ty Gibbs again on that last lap. Faster than our leader, just not able to close in yet. And he still has to get by McDowell and Allmendinger if he even wants a shot at this. Gibbs is pressuring pretty hard. Kyle Busch, with the, these pit cycles or the pit stops happening, he's cycling back forward into the top 10 and slowly catching back up to his teammate. McDowell looking to the inside of Allmendinger. Ty Gibbs needs to set up a good run here. Might be able to clear him. This is going to slow down Ty Gibbs' lap time here. He's going to lose some time to the leader, trying to get by Allmendinger and McDowell. All right, Gibbs making the pass on Allmendinger there. Wonder if Allmendinger's going to come in soon for fresh tires. Only 22 laps into this run. I think Gibbs is the first car on track that can make it. If it's not him, then it's Zilich. But I think Gibbs might be able to make it. Yeah, they show us the tint, but they can't show us what happened to Catherine Legg there. I don't really need to know what precipitated the incident or what caused that. I want to see what happened to her. Like, did she take an access road? Or is it just because she got it refired? Like, I'm guessing it's the latter. Because she stayed on track and made another lap. Catherine Legg's about to go down a lap, so if we get another caution, William Byron will not get the free pass. Unless Legg somehow lost, 3 laps on pit road. So Gibbs now almost a second back from McDowell. Lost a lot of time during that transfer of positions. Zilich up to 4th. Yeah, Zilich and Gibbs are on the same strategy. It might come down to between those two. And I think Zilich out of the two may have a better shot on the long run of beating SVG. But SVG is going to have fresh tires. So Zilich needs to save more fuel, apparently, according to the radio. Not able to make it at their current estimate. Harvick not able to get his words out there. I understand. Remember watching NASCAR at Bristol and they had the flood? I do remember when that happened. Completely flooded a lot of the campgrounds. I'm talking inches of water, standing water in the camping area. And it turned the whole place into a mud pit. That was not great. But it's East Tennessee. It's in the mountains. Unless they have a drought in the middle of the summer, they typically get a lot of rain. So it's hard to schedule that with Bristol. Dog, what are you doing? My dog is about to really do bad stuff. My dog might be stuck where he is. Nope, he took a route that I did not think he could take. All right, SVG on pit road, lap 77. My dog is walking through a nest of cables for my TV, for my computer. If the stream suddenly goes off, it's because my dog is exploring. So Gibbs with the lead, Zilich 2 seconds back. Zilich may not attempt to run down Gibbs. May just let him run his pace because Zilich has to save fuel here. And Gibbs does as well, but Zilich may bank on Gibbs running out of fuel or having to pit really late in the race. I just ignore them. I block them out. Even when I hear it, I just don't mention it. Oh yeah, East Tennessee, beautiful place. Even driving through Kentucky, there's a lot of scenic views. Beautiful part of the country. And where did Hocevar? Not Hocevar. I looked at his name as soon as I meant to say SVG. SVG currently scored 24th. 29 seconds back. At that split, we'll see what it turns out being. 21 laps. He might be running a second to 2 seconds faster per lap. That's enough time for SVG to make it, potentially. Virginia, about the only driving I've done through Virginia, so around DC, but also from DC all the way back to Tennessee. And it was a long drive. Oh yeah, we have a beautiful country for sure. I mean, a lot of it looks pretty similar. Grass and trees, but the further away you get, the more different it can look. Go down to Florida, the plant life changes. In the deep south, really southern Arkansas down to the coast in Louisiana, you have the bayous, Spanish moss. Then you get out to Arizona, it looks like you're on the surface of Mars. And then the Pacific Northwest, the plant life changes again, a lot of mountains. We have a beautiful country. You can travel through the U.S. and see pretty much every biome on Earth. So Zilic, a second and a half back now from Ty Gibbs. All right, what's SVG doing here? 28 seconds back, 21 to go. He's running a 73.7. He has, if he continues to run this pace, he'll run down our leaders. But will traffic hold him up? That's what the guys in front of him need to count on. Now it's already down to 25 and a half seconds. 20 to go. That puts SVG, as long as he runs a 1.1 faster every lap, he gets there. And that's if these guys can even make it to the end. Cole Custer pitting, that's going to clear some track for SVG. The more guys that pit in between our leaders and SVG, the easier path he has getting back to the lead. My goodness. What Hendrick did today is disgusting. These bottomless appetizers from Buffalo Wild Wings is the worst decision that company has made. They're about to have a Red Lobster moment. Indiana's so ugly. I mean, there are some rough patches where it's like, this is not great. But it's like a weird mix of some of the states with more trees, but also the fields of like in Arkansas. Or some of Arkansas, at least. A lot of flat land, that's for sure. Yeah, I wouldn't say the areas near the interstate are very scenic in Indiana. Bankrupt Wild Wings. Maybe. I've already heard some horror stories about people going there just for the appetizers, staying 3 hours, and then only tipping $1.25 and leaving. So, you know, I went back when it was, I think, $19.99 endless appetizers. And they only came by our table like twice the whole time we were there. And the cheese sticks, which is what I went there for, weren't even that good. So it was ultimately very disappointing. SVG 24 seconds back, that last lap. Connor Zilic is closing in, but these guys can't battle it out. They have to just run their race. If they slow each other down, that can bring SVG back into the conversation quicker than they want to see. Like their fried pickles. I'm not a pickle guy, so I'm out of the conversation for that one. $17 to go. 19.4 back. Clint doesn't think he can make it. Harvick and Mike Joy think it's more possible. I think it's possible. Running a 73.2 compared to a 75.2. That's 2 seconds faster. That's plenty of time to make it. As long as he doesn't get held up. But even getting held up for like 5 corners per lap, he's still making better laps than most people. One car pulling off the track in front of him, that's going to clear the track a bit more. Clear track all the way to Hamlin. So SVG moving into our top 10 here. The battle between Zilic and Gibbs has tightened up. I think Zilic is just happy to follow him through here. Save a little extra fuel with the draft. But if Gibbs makes a mistake, then Zilic may go for the kill. So now I don't even have to scroll to get to SVG. He's there. Van Gisbergen by Hamlin, no contest. And he's probably about to get by Chastain. Oh, he already did. Van Gisbergen up to 8th. McDowell trying to follow SVG through. McDowell really needed a good run here today. He's had a rough year. Yeah, I'm not about the pickles. Did they... a few guys pit. We're on different strategies, so the leaders have not pit. Bubba Wallace backwards in turn 1. Not able to rejoin. He's going to lose several spots here. He is going to get it refired. All right, we're going to keep it green. That is an interesting combo. SVG has definitely cut that gap. 14 and a half, 14 laps. He has the pace. I've been saying it. He has the pace. I don't think Clint Boyer knows how the Jaws theme goes. I'm pretty sure that's what he was doing. Is anyone willing to race SVG tied here? I don't think so. I think they all know he's going to get by. And they're just going to lay over and try to follow him through. And that's going to really ease the gap here. 13 seconds flat now. 13 laps to go. He's coming. He is coming. So whoever is in second place at the time SVG gets there, how hard will they race SVG for the position? Zilich may want to consider making this pass here and trying to run off with it, because SVG is coming. We're about to see another SVG win. He's running them down. Just like we saw yesterday, same exact thing. Guys staying out, trying to run long. And the faster guy, the dominant guy of the day is going to run these guys down. SVG about to make the pass for 6th position. SVG only going to get held up for one corner here. Cindric's going to let SVG go. It's down to 10 and a half, 12 laps. It's a matter of time. That's all it is. And Zilich has not been able to close that gap in. He may be saving more fuel here. Zilich is asking when he can go. Gibbs not able to get a good run through the dogleg there. That closes Zilich in. But SVG is only 9 seconds back now. So he has a 3-lap grace period where he doesn't have to gain time. SVG has beat the estimates. He's running faster. These guys have slowed down. Running 76-second laps. SVG still running 74. 2 seconds a lap faster. SVG about to challenge for the top 5. Kyle Busch, he's going to pick him off this lap. Connor Zilich locking it up in 1 again. We've seen him do that all weekend. All weekend in the truck race, in the O'Reilly race. They have to go. They have to go. They have to start at least running half a second. Oh, we have a couple cars around here. Josh Berry around. We're going to stay green. Oh, they say there's debris. We might get a caution here. Zilich is going to try to make the pass there. Not able to get it. Will the caution fall? This is going to hand, potentially, SVG the lead. It's definitely going to close in the gap. It would end the race. Now, if someone else behind, let's say the rest of the field comes down for one more pit stop, which there's no way they would all work together. And you could see someone on faster tires try to challenge, but even on old tires, I don't see anyone outrunning SVG. It's not going to happen. Not today. We stay green so far. Harvick was convinced we were going to see a caution, but we stay green. SVG only 5 seconds back, 10 to go. Now he's 5 laps to the good. He's going to win this race by 3 seconds. Oh, corn dogs are good. Corn dog. All right. Zilic not able to make it there in the dog leg. Not able to make this pass. SVG by Dylan. He's going to get by the 19 here. Average last caution with 10 laps to go. We're already there. We could potentially see Zilic lock it up and take out Ty Gibbs. There's another lockup in the one for Zilic. Now there's 6/10 back. 7/10 between Zilic and Gibbs. Gibbs has had a hard time getting into the dogleg, so Zilic might be able to close this back up. But Shane Van Gisbergen is only 2.5 seconds back. Two seconds back, 9 to go. He's got it. He's going to win this race by at least 3 seconds. Zilic locking up that tire too much. He's out of the equation. It's down to Ty Gibbs, and SVG's got this. We're looking at another SVG win. It didn't take him long. SVG back to victory lane. He made it work, ran all the way back through the field. McDowell not able to follow him through. But we are potentially looking at a Kyle Busch top 10. As long as nothing weird happens here. Kyle Busch top 5 potentially. I don't see him closing in and passing McDowell. McDowell's running 2 seconds faster. All right, SVG going to make the pass here into the dogleg. SVG back to the lead with 8 to go. Got there with plenty of time. Plenty of time. Larson 18. That's about the best he's run all day. Chase Elliott 22nd. Alex Bowman, decent enough recovery. They had a really rough go of it. He's a half second back from Chase Elliott. Might be able to make up that ground. Could maybe see Bowman and Elliott pick up a few more spots if some of these guys fall back. And we may see more guys pit. McDowell up to third. If we get another caution, I guarantee McDowell would run Van Gisbergen very hard. Busch a half second back from Dylan. Can he close in? 4/10 back. Dylan lost some time there. 3/10. Now it's back towards, about 3/10 now. So Dylan has had a really rough this last lap. He's falling back. Busch might be able to grab a top 5 here. Whoa, Cody Ware, massive damage. On the track, slow. So that was damage from the earlier accident. He's trying to limp it around to the end of the race, but William Byron might be able to pick up another spot here. Some really hard racing through the field. Larson getting by Hocevar there. Zane Smith also by on the inside. So now Larson has his sights set on Cole Custer. Zane Smith might be faster than Larson. Can't rule him out for this battle. Bowman's close to Elliott. Looking, I'm not sure he's going to make it there. But Hocevar may be falling back. Hocevar probably going to get passed by Elliott and Bowman. That'll move them up. I was wondering how you were going to do that, Tiberium. I was wondering how you were going to do that. I'm glad that's working. It sounds really cool. I like what you're doing. That's a feature they need to bring back to the NASCAR games. The voice commands. Don't do it. My dog keeps messing with the cables. I gotta put some stuff over there so he can't get into my cable nest. One wrong move and he could take down about 5 different things. Stop. SVG with a 6-second advantage with 5 to go. The only shot the field has is for a caution to come out. And that still wouldn't help them very much. Red Bull versus Monster. Well, Red Bull got the win today. Monster had a good showing, at least from Ty Gibbs. Herbst, not so much. He had a rough day. So Larson and Chase Elliott in the top 20. Zane Smith did get by Larson. And those cars have both fallen off. They are probably not going to get by Custer here. Custer moving forward, getting by Eric Jones. So they may be about where they're going to finish. Bowman 22nd. Gilliland may have cleared him. I think that's what happened. Gilliland moving forward. Man, if we got a late caution, Reddick could be the beneficiary. He would have to have a crazy restart. I still don't think anyone's going to beat Shane Mingisbergen, but if some of these guys pit in front of him, that would clear the way. But we've said it before, it takes a lot to bring out a caution at a road course. William Byron moving on up, baby. Getting by Cody Ware. Not dead last. Rough day for Brad. He never really had a ton to work with. Bubba ran a bit better than where he is. An incident or two took him out of the equation. Bowman had a good day going, or a better day going. He started pretty far back. Worked his way into the top 20. Bad pit stop, fell back, and was never really able to recover. Fighting with Bell here. Bell may fall back here, so Bowman might be able to pick him off. Gilliland's moving through the field. Gilliland probably also going to get by Larson here. So Larson back to 20th potentially. And Gragson might get by Bowman. Gragson running 2 seconds faster than Bowman per lap. That could shuffle Bowman back to 24th. Bell is outrunning Bowman. He's not going to get there. But Bell probably going to get by Elliott here. We may not have a Hendrick car finish in the top 20. When is the last time that's happened? Every Hendrick car outside the top 20. This is a historically bad day for Hendrick Motorsports. Now, Byron potentially could have finished the race with the top 10. He was running in the top 10. And that tent changed his race. I said what the ripple effect was going to be, the butterfly effect, and we've seen it. William Byron finishing 36. That's the biggest thing. 2 laps to go. Michael McDowell with a 7-second disadvantage. He's not going to make that up. Oh, that was something really bad going for him. They made good time. I'm glad they extended the race to 100 laps. I think that was a really good call. Now, the time of the year they ran the race, that was a weird decision because it's still cold and rainy. 1 lap to go, brought to you by Credit One Bank. SVG, all he has to do is put this thing in first gear. He can put it in reverse and just make a lap, and he's going to win this race. John Hunter Nemechek might escape at the top 10. 25 seconds back, but it's still a top 10. That would be a huge day for John Hunter Nemechek. Blaney probably going to miss out on the top 10 here. 8 tenths back from John Hunter Nemechek. Kyle Larson did drop out of the top 20. There not a single Hendrick car in the top 20. Today is going to boost SVG back to at least 16th in the standings, but potentially 14th or 15th. We have to see how the other guys did. Brad Keselowski is going to drop in the standings, I can tell you that. And Shane Van Gisbergen will take the win at Watkins Glen. Josh Berry off the track in 1. They still have to make their last lap. SVG in his cooldown might pass the rest of the field. SVG burning it down in turn 1 before half these guys have even finished the race. The only car that had finished was McDowell. And SVG was already burning it down in 1. I think NASCAR told him to get back out on track. Making the field look bad. Hey, Kyle Busch, the last 3 weeks has run really well. This could have been 3 top 10s in a row for Kyle Busch. This could have been. But the late race restart cost Kyle Busch a top 10 last week. Then what he did with John Hunter Nemechek sent him even further back to like 18th or something. So he cost himself there somewhat. But without that late race caution, Kyle Busch gets a top 10 last week. That could have been 3 top 10s in a row. That's 3 weeks that they've been top 10 on pace. Not luck. Pace. Actually a good race. And you can tell RCR picked it up because Austin Dillon's up here as well. All right, Tiberium. Good luck. And we will be watching closely for those 2006 gameplays to be posted. Now, we're about to switch over to our post-race. I haven't even set that up, so let's go ahead and do that now. And then we will end this stream and switch over to our post-race show. All right, let's see. Does this look good? That looks good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap things up here, and we will start our post-race show. So I hope to see you guys over there. Probably won't be a long one, but we'll just talk through everybody's day, and you guys can share your thoughts in the comments and in the chat. Other than that, that wraps things up for our live race coverage.